Yo, Iota Power back with another video, and today I want to highlight why Iota and Shimmer are superior, that's right, superior to Dot and Cosmos when it comes to the multi-chain use case. If you believe Iota can smash Dot and Cosmos in the multi-chain wars, make sure to do some smashing yourself by smashing that like and subscribe button. Thank you in advance. We all know Iota started out focusing on the machine-to-machine economy and building an infrastructure for Iota devices. We all envisage a future of sentient bots, flying cars, and a Firefly wallet in a toaster. I certainly did. Now that hasn't quite come to fruition yet. Soon. However, a new, more immediate use case has appeared: the multi-chain. This was confirmed by Dom in a recent mega Discord post. He confirmed that market adoption in the real world has been slow, so Iota has shifted its priorities for at least the short term. Focusing on being the top layer 0 multi-chain protocol means Iota and Shimmer are now in competition with the likes of Dot and Cosmos. The issue is sometimes Shimmer's advantages can get lost in the noise of documentation and specifications. Polkadot and Cosmos may have a few years head start on Iota in this area, but Shimmer as we see it today has a few great features that really sets it apart from its competitors due to its DAG architecture and clever design. Okay, so if you want to go multi-chain, there are two ends of the spectrum in how you organize such a protocol. You can take a rigid approach like Dot, where you only have a number of limited slots available for the chains, and you run a competitive process such as auctions to decide who gets those slots. But those limited chains then do get access to great connectivity between each other and shared security. On the other end of the spectrum, you can take the more self-sovereign approach such as Cosmos, which allows an unlimited amount of chains that can be built on top of the protocol, but each chain is separate from one another, they're less connected, and they lose some of that shared security. The great thing about Iota and Shimmer is they've seen the issues with both Dot and Cosmos, and it positions itself nicely in that little sweet spot between the two. Iota solves the composability issue by having shared infrastructure via the layer 1. The main reason Shimmer can do this more readily than Dot and Cosmos is due to its core infrastructure, the DAG infrastructure. The DAG allows layer 2 networks to publish to the layer 1 layer in parallel with each other. This is such a key differentiator for Shimmer. Further, unlike Dot, on Shimmer, horizontal scaling is not inhibited, as an unlimited amount of actors can fire up a Shimmer layer 2 and communicate with great security and without a bridge. So Iota really is the perfect hub for the multi-chain environment. Now let's take a step back to explain why this is such a game changer. Think of Shimmer as a highway, and the layer 2s and dApps are towns and cities along that highway. The layer 2 and dApps can transport their resources between each other via the highway of Shimmer. What Shimmer allows is the layer 2 chains building on top of Shimmer to act as token issuers on the base layer. Basically, the layer 2 chains place their tokens on the highway freely and transport them around the ecosystem. On other chains, the assets they create on one chain are local. They can't interact with assets outside their little town or village without a bridge, who basically acts as a translator between the two autonomous chains. Think of a gaming token that designs its token only to be used within that game or gaming chain. In order to get that token on another chain, a third party has to implement a bridge to allow the chains to talk with each other. One chain takes custody of the assets, and there's a mint on one chain and a burn on another. For example, this is what Cosmos does with its IBC model. On Cosmos, you have to have light clients in both chains and then a sync, and there's a lot of different steps, and to be honest, it's quite confusing. But you don't need that on Iota. As we've realized in the last year or so, bridges are one of the most vulnerable elements that are open to attacks in this space. So bridges are certainly not the future, and protocols that can avoid bridges are going to be key. Now let's compare this to Shimmer, where we do not need these separate relayers between the chains to send the messages and tokens. What Shimmer does is the settlement layer on the layer 1 is the relayer. This is the really clever part. A layer 2 via Shimmer can create an account on another chain on Shimmer and issue and send tokens to itself. This means chains on top of Shimmer can exchange tokens freely. The layer 2 can basically control the whole process of wrapping the token, transferring it through the layer 1 on Shimmer, and then unwrapping it on the other layer 2 chain. There's no trusting third-party software anymore. This allows the layer 2s to exchange values freely between themselves without the potentially devastating vulnerabilities being present in the process. So Shimmer's design really is superior to DOT and Cosmos when it comes to the multi-chain. This is shown further by Cosmos now trying to change its IBC model to be similar to Shimmer with their Cosmos 2.0. But let's be real, this could take years for them to redesign their whole protocol. As more and more people check out Shimmer, I think those tech-savvy investors will really be taken back by how ingenious Shimmer and Iota's design is. It corrects the faults of many chains out there. But isn't that why we invested in a DAG protocol in the first place? Its structure has such unique advantages over the rigid blockchains. Now all we need is for Shimmer to get its training wheels, become battle hardened, and it will take the multi-chain wars by force. That's all for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.